Hello everyone, I am women's football analyst Jacob Bernstein, and as Harry has previously mentioned, I am here to bring Spurs Women content to this channel. Spurs Women face London City Lionesses this Sunday in the WSL, so let's preview it. For those of you who are perhaps new to Spurs Women or new to women's football, I thought it would be good to give some context around Spurs Women this season. We are currently 7 out of 22 games into the WSL, and Spurs Women have had a fantastic start with 5 wins and 2 losses. We currently sit 4th in the league and are ahead of Arsenal. Our only losses this season have been against top 4 teams, so again, to set some context, there's quite a big disparity in the WSL between the top 4 teams, that being Arsenal, Chelsea, United and City. There's quite a big disparity between those 4 teams and the rest of the league, and our only defeats this season have come against Chelsea and City. That means we've beaten all of the non-top 4 teams, and we've kept 3 clean sheets in wins against Brighton, West Ham and Everton. I thought it was important to kind of shout out and mention a few players who have been standout for us this season. The main ones are Katinka Tandberg. She is a Norwegian winger. She's 21 years old and we signed her in the summer. She's absolutely fantastic. She scored 3 goals for us this season, is our top scorer in the WSL, and has scored, one of her goals that she scored was on her debut against Everton. It was a 40-yard screamer from distance. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it, because you will not be disappointed. But yeah, Tandberg's come in. I think we really lacked goal scorers last season outside of Beth England, who's our main striker. And yeah, Tandberg adds a lot of firepower up front, as does Olivia Holt, who we signed in January. She is an attacking midfielder primarily, but she's played a bit out on the left this season as well, and I think she has been our player of the season. She scored 2 WSL goals so far this season, but has been the creator. She's such a confident dribbler, she's such a creative player, and 2 seasons ago we had Grace Clinton on loan, and who possesses a very similar skill set to Olivia Holt, kind of being a willing runner in midfield, taking on players, and we didn't have that last season, and Olivia Holt has just been absolutely brilliant. She's one of those players that will kind of get you off your seat. And then the other player who's been really good for us is Toka Koga, another summer signing. She's a 19-year-old centre-back, Japanese international, who we signed from Feyenoord in the summer, and she's been absolutely fantastic. She's a really strong defender. She has a lot of confidence, interceptions, blocks, and she scored her first goal last weekend against Liverpool in a 2-1 win. So yeah, I think that kind of summarises Spurs Women this season. London City Lionesses, for those of you who don't know about London City Lionesses, they are the first fully independent team that aren't affiliated to a men's team to be promoted to the WSL. They were promoted last season, so this is their first full season in the WSL, and they're owned by Michelle Kang, who has a multi-club ownership model, so she also owns Lyon and Washington Spirit. London City Lionesses had a massive overhaul in the summer. There was a huge investment in their team. They signed big names like Grace Guioro, Nikita Paris and Daniela van der Donk. And in many respects, they've had a very similar start to the season to Spurs. London City Lionesses have also only lost to top 4 teams, and they've beaten all the non-top 4 teams they played. However, because of a harder fixture schedule, it's meant that they've played all the top 4 teams, so they sit on 9 points as opposed to Spurs sitting on 15. For London City Lionesses this season, their standout players have been Sweden veteran Kosovare Aslani and WSL veteran Nikita Paris. Both of those 2 players have 2 goals and 1 assist for London City Lionesses this season. They've also kept 2 clean sheets this season in 2 of their home wins, with goalkeeper Elena Lette and defender Elena Linari standing out in defence. In terms of what to expect for Spurs team news-wise, on the whole, Spurs' team this season has been relatively similar. They've gone with Lisa Kopp in goal, Amanda Nilden, Toka Koga and Claire Hunt in defence. The other player in defence has been Josephine Rybrink. However, Ashley Neville has been out injured for the majority of the season, and she's kind of been working her way back to fitness. She's had a couple of substitute appearances. I think she started 1 WSL game this season. So it'll be interested to see whether Rybrink keeps her place or whether Neville comes back into the team. Our midfield, again, has been quite similar. We played Evelina Simonen, Drew Spence and Olivia Holt in that midfield. And the attack has been Jessica Naz, Beth England and Katinka Tandberg. However, Matilda Vinberg started last game against Liverpool instead of Katinka Tandberg. So I'd be intrigued to see whether Tandberg gets her place back. So I think kind of the Rybring-Neville and Tandberg-Vinberg are the two kind of potential changes we might see in terms of the team sheet. But apart from that, I think it'll be relatively template. The only other one that I wanted to mention was Molly Bartrip. Molly Bartrip is Spurs women's vice-captain. She played every WSL minute last season. But this season, she has been injured to start the season. Again, like Ashley Neville, she's kind of been working her way back into the team. She's had a couple of kind of substitute appearances, and I think she'll end up kind of winning her starting place back in the next couple of weeks. But the defence has been really strong. Tokoko and Claire Hunt have formed a really strong defence partnership, so it won't be easy to break into. In terms of my prediction for the game, I think it'll be a really close game. I think London City Lionesses are at home for this one, and I think it's almost both clubs' most important test, because both clubs have struggled against top four sides. They've beaten non-top four sides, so it'll be interesting to see how they fare against each other. Both could look like kind of early contenders for maybe finishing as the best of the rest, so finishing in 5th or finishing in 6th come the end of the season. I'm going to predict a 1-1 draw. I think it'll be a tightly contested game. I think both teams look quite strong to start the season. And yeah, I think London City Lionesses have had a couple of good results at home against the lower side. So I think Spurs, it probably won't be so straightforward. I think Spurs' wins this season have been mainly by 1 goal, so they've been very close. So yeah, I foresee a 1-1 draw here. But that's not to take away from the fact that Spurs women's season has been very optimistic. So yeah, that's all from me for the London City Lionesses v Spurs Women preview. Please remember to subscribe to Harry's channel if you haven't already, and follow me on X at JacobBurn14 for more Spurs Women and WSL content. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you soon.